Salaki. I had a Salaki. Somebody interrupted me. Anyways, this is Ezekiel 36 and 26. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. And I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you an heart of flesh. You know. So this is tying to tie this Hebrews 8 and 10 connects to Ezekiel 36 and 26, which is a precept and the breakdown into New Testament. And I had to reset that real quick because when I was doing the video, it cut me off, so I didn't want nobody to get confused. But this is should I hold on? Did it go all the way down to 13? Let me see. Yeah, it actually goes all the way down to 13. Yeah, let me continue reading it. All right, this is verse 11. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Knoweth the Lord, for all shall know me, from the least to the greatest. Verse 12. For I will be merciful for their unrighteousness, in their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more. You know, verse 13. In that he saith a new covenant, he hath made the first old. Now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away. Yeah. So this So I can hold on. So this ties to First Corinthians 15 and 57. All right, and this is the main part. You know what I mean? Um, this is really the top of the lesson, but I just didn't want to just skip over scriptures like that. This is First Corinthians 15 and 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain, like I said, in the Lord. Yes, our labor is not in vain, you know. By no means it's in vain, you know. Uh, you have to, yeah. Matter of fact, let me pull that. Hold on, work out your own salvation, because you have to work to do it. You just can't be no, some dude up here that know he an Israelite, but ain't did not one, not just not sharing the information. Even though not all people are teachers, but shouldn't be sitting on it knowing that you're Israelite. Hold on, let me see that. Let me see if I can pull it. Yeah, here it go. This is well, yeah, that was something I seen while. This is the one I seen on Chat GPT a while ago. This is Philippians 2 and 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, well, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. And then verse 13, for it is God which worketh in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure. Yeah, so ultimately you're supposed to work out your own salvation, Um, obviously your work and labor not in vain if you're doing it for salvation, and that's not in vain in that at all. What is vain is um being some degenerate, trying to be the next sexy red or whatever. You know, that's degeneracy at its finest. You know, and that's pushed on to our people. That's why they, ain't nothing wrong listening to rap music, but trying to be like them and doing all this crazy stuff. That's ultimately why our people are destroyed now. Can't be just out here just wilding out and then expect no consequences. That's what's wrong with our people. And I ain't just talking about the Southern Kingdom. I'm talking about the Northern Kingdom too. Cause they're up here. They worship Donald Trump. The Hispanics and the Native Indians, they worship Donald Trump and whatever. But they're the first one. They're the first one to get pulled over by ICE and thrown in the damn detention center. I'm talking about they vote for Donald Trump. You know what I mean? This is for God is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love which ye have shewed towards his name, and in that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister. Yeah. So we're not doing this for no reason, man. We trying to get a reward out of it. Like I did a lesson on it the other day. We trying to get a reward out of it. Let me see. This is Galatians 6:9. And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. Yeah, that also ties back to the lesson I did with patience. Because it do get a little annoying sometimes. You waiting for stuff to happen and all that, but I mean you can't really do anything but wait. You know. Um. Let me see. This is verse 10. And we have therefore opportunity let us do good unto all men, especially unto them who are of the household of faith. Yeah. So you really supposed to do good unto all men, but especially to the ones that are in this truth. That's in the faith. You know. Um. Matter of fact, let me. This is Psalms 128:2. For thou shalt eat the labor of thine hands, happy shall thou be, and it shall be well with thee. Kind. Let me pull it up here too, cause I like this, cause um, make sure I ain't missing nothing on the missing no meat on the bones. If you know what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, it is something there, but I ain't trying to be too long on it. Um, Let me see. This is Second Chronicles 15:7. Be ye strong, therefore, and let not your hands be weak, for your reward shall be. I mean, for your work shall be rewarded. Yeah. So you know, ultimately doing this for a crown, righteousness. Ultimately, we doing it all for all our people, but you know, um, ultimately, not our people. Most of our people on this side not gonna get it. But like the scripture said, all Israel shall be saved. You know. But on this side, our people are not gonna get it. They have to be reborn again, basically. You know. But if you ain't, brothers are trying to fight for the to go from here to there. They're not trying to be. Uh, I mean, even if you're in the truth and you die, you still you didn't restart. The only time you restart if you like some degenerate like 2/3 like a sexy red or somebody that's promoting wickedness and madness and adultery and murder and stuff, and you die, you basically now you gotta restart. Now you have to wait to be reborn again. You have to restart. But if you are Israelite in the truth that died, or there's an Israelite that's still living when that time comes, you won't have to restart. You know what I mean? Um, let me pull up Second Chronicles real quick. Let me see. Second Chronicles. Here we go. 15:7. All right, this is Second Chronicles 15:7. Like I said, I'm gonna read it again. Be ye strong, therefore, and let not your hands be weak, for your work shall be rewarded. Yeah, so our work is gonna be rewarded. It's no doubt about that. Um, because the prophecies are coming to pass. They're pushing the digital ID and stuff like that now. Um, they're pushing that. Um, that's one step closer to this kingdom falling. Because ultimately, we need the place to fall in order to be at peace, where you ain't having to pay all these bills and people dying, family members dying and stuff, and paying all these bills, and you can be rent free and do whatever the heck you want, and you don't have to die no more. So, but that's why you will want to usher in, the downfall of this place, so our place can be forever. But People not gonna understand that you can't have to keep righteous a place of righteousness running and then a place of wickedness over here. That don't even make sense, and that's confusion according to the scriptures anyway. So you would want to downfall Esau's kingdom, so we can get our kingdom and have it forever, because they're gonna have to work for us anyway. Especially all the bullshit that Esau Edom did, they got work for us, and then after that they're gonna be eradicated, meaning they ain't gonna never exist no more. You know. All right, this is Colossians 3:23, and whatsoever ye do, do it heartily, as to the Lord, and not unto men. Yeah, so we doing this. Whatever you find your hands to do, I mean, whatever your hands find to do, you're doing it for the Lord ultimately. You know what I mean? This is Let me just read this quick scripture real quick. This is Ecclesiastes 9:10. Whatsoever thy hand found to do, do it with thy might, for there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave, whither thou goest. Yeah, so once you die, it's no more. You once you're dead, you're dead. You can't do nothing no more. You just, your spirit had gone to the Lord. If you died in the truth, all the all the work that you did, that the Lord remembers that. You know, He remembers everything, really, everything. But even down to the tiniest millisecond. You say you dropped a piece of sand on the ground, the Lord's seen that. Anyways, um, whatever you find your hand to do, do it with all your might. In heart. Because once you die, you ain't gonna do anything once you're dead. You can't move. Your soul not even in your body. So you know, it's just what it is. This is verse 24. Knowing that of the Lord ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance, for ye serve the Lord Hamashiach. You know what I'm saying? So you serving the Lord, you get rewards for that. You know, even on this side, it might not be nothing too crazy, but you might get a new car, new house, new clothes. You know what I'm saying? Find money on the ground, all type of stuff. Well, on this side, I mean, you can get it on this side, but it's low compared to what we're going to get for real, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Um, let me see. Oh yeah, let me bring out this one last scripture. This is Proverbs, um, 13 and 14, from what I remember. Oh no, 14:23. It's a lot. All right, this is Proverbs 14 and 23. In all labor there is profit. Yeah, in all labor there is profit. So where you go to work, you get a paycheck. You go to the mall and buy them Jordan 5 University Blues. That you use money, you use your labor to acquire them shoes. So it's like a step. It's like, okay, you go to work, you get the money, then you have the money, you go to the mall, then you buy the shoes. It's a 3-step process, or 2-step process, or whatever. You know what I mean? In order to buy things, you gotta work. But at the same time, so how much more this truth? How much more the kingdom? All right, in all labor there is profit, but the talk of the lips tendeth only to penury. You know, verse 24: the crown of the wise is their riches, but the foolishness of fools is folly. You know what I mean? But that I was reading, past the point. Well, it all matters, but I was reading past the point. Matter of fact, let me just continue reading it. Verse 25: and true witness delivereth souls, but a deceitful witness speaketh lies. Verse 26: in the fear of the Lord is a strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge. Verse 27: the fear of the Lord is a fountain of life, to depart from the snares of death. Yeah, so you serving the Lord, you're trying to save your life, not ultimately be like some nigga out here that died in the street, from murder and all this other stuff, that these niggas commit. You know what I mean? Or just even in just be a degenerate, in general. Past the degeneracy, you're in the truth, so you have a place of protection also, and stuff works out different for you versus people that's in the world. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, basically this lesson is just about our labor is not in vain. You know, even though I kind of I expand it on the point. I can just I expand it on the point and then some. But yeah, basically our labor is not in vain. So with that being said, hopefully this is edifying, and I want to give all praises, honor, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, Bashem, Rakakwadash, and Shalom to the next lesson.